2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, we'll be watching the Orlando Magic playing against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota's been playing with a lot of focus. They've got an opportunity tonight to sweep the season series 2-0. The coaching staff commented that they feel confident coming into this one. Andrew Wiggins making strides in his game last season, scoring from all over the floor now, and more importantly, scoring with efficiency. What was the change you saw, Shaq, in his approach?
Well, I like this kid. He's, Ernie, really a quiet assassin. The three-point shot was clicking for him. Much more space to operate with an outside game. This kid can do it all. Oh, Canada, you better stand on guard for heat.
Oh, I like that.
How come nobody's ever described as a noisy assassin?
Good point, Ernie.
Anyway, back to Andrew Wiggins.
Well, does a good job of drawing fouls as well, getting to the free throw line.
You know what?
Quietly gets to the free throw line.
You know what we also did?
What's
Anytime
that?
you get the guy to start the music early, you know you've done your job.
There it is.
So send it to Kevin Harlan.
Live from Orlando, 2K Sports proudly brings you the Magic at Amway Center. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter is David Aldridge. The Timberwolves looking for a strong start to this road trip.
Well, we're about to see what the buzz around the league is all about here. Is it going to be just hype, or will it be reality? We will find out here soon enough, along with the fans in this arena and the people watching at home.
So the Timberwolves win the tip. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Gibson is the 4 with Towns in the middle. Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. And it's Wiggins in at the 3 slot. Here's Fournier. Andrew Wiggins pulls it in. On defense, Orlando. Defeated by the Wizards in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
And really, man, they played their hearts out. Missed a couple opportunities down the stretch, and that was the difference.
Yeah, you know what, Greg? Much love to them because the energy was there, but the execution fell just a little short.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves getting the first points of the ball game. And Vucevic kicks to Fournier. And it's Grant in the corner. No good on the three.
And watching Jimmy Butler, he just offers so much on offense from a scoring standpoint. You know, obviously he can get to the rack and draw the defense to him. Also really improved his ability to knock it down from beyond. Just a complete offensive player.
The Timberwolves shooting their first free throw of the night.
One shot.
And Greg, as you said, Butler is a threat to score from any part of the floor.
It's a bit of a dying art, though, hitting that mid-range jump shot. Butler also does a great job of getting to the line. That's increased over the course of his career. Just a well-rounded offensive player.
No good from Grant.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down.
They get it back, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will take it. Let's send it over to David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Tom Thibodeau. D.A.?
Well, Kevin, they're going to keep it simple tonight. He wants to run everything through the low post. He told me physically we're the stronger team. We need to use that strength to our benefit. Back to you.
Okay, David, thanks. Grant with a screen on Wiggins. Ross kicks to Grant. Once again off the mark, Orlando.
Not looking good for him so far. 4 straight misses to start the game.
To the right side. Towns wide open. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. 6 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Pass to Ross. Back to Grant. Now the feed to Fournier. 6 on the shot clock. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
Boy, the 5th time's the charm. That's a big basket there.
And Evan Fournier out of France. His father was a judo champion.
And you know, Fournier is conscious of European players' reputation for being more finesse, soft, if you will. And I think he's done a nice job being aggressive and getting himself to the free throw line by playing a more physical game. I think at 6'7", he wants to dispel that reputation as being a finesse guy.
Minnesota's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. Pass to Towns from about 16, and again it's Minnesota converting.
Quick trigger off the catch and shoot. Towns giving the defense no time to react.
Teague against Grant. Feeds it to Gordon. Screen by Grant. Gordon, the pass to Fournier. That one goes. Count it. Fournier's got 5 now.
Well, you can consider it automatic when Fournier gets some space to shoot from there.
Teague kicks to Wiggins. About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Towns the screen. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there. And looking back at last season, here's a look at the 3-point and 2-point shot attempt averages for Orlando.
And they were focused on spreading the floor and getting good looks from three-point range. That was the key to their offense. They put in a lot of work on the perimeter.
The Magic trail by 6. Grant dishes to Ross. Butler against Fournier. Vucevic a screen on Butler. Outside Gordon. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Taj Gibson picks one up.
And you know, the attack from Gordon, his explosive first step on his drives to the hoop, really scary.
And Aaron Gordon, the athletic Aaron Gordon, playing much of last season at the small forward position during Serge Ibaka's short-lived stint in Orlando.
Yeah, and while he was excited to stretch his skill set, pretty clear it was a bad fit, especially in today's NBA. Gordon is a power forward, period. The Magic invested the 4th pick on him in that 14 draft, and they have to give him minutes at his natural position as his game continues to evolve.
And one of the toughest parts about playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves is the travel schedule.
Yeah.
Clark, even interdivision games can involve lengthy flights, and the team travels more than any other in the NBA.
Yeah, and you know, everybody travels, and it is part of the league, but it is a small disadvantage for Minnesota to deal with. Not a big one, but nonetheless something unique to them as a team. Not much you can do about it, though. That's their lot, and they've got to make it work.
And Aaron Gordon, a natural power forward, but he was asked to play at small forward last season alongside Serge Ibaka.
And Gordon was willing to try it, Kevin, to his credit, looking to expand his skill set. He's not a shooter right now, and however, with his leaping ability, I think it makes sense to perhaps keep him close to the rim.
Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
Ross has earned his reputation as a team-first guy. Excellent at distributing the ball.
Teague, the pass to Wiggins. Kicks it to Butler. Towns, the screen. Passes it to Gibson. Goes up on the wing, and the jumper is good. Gibson's got his first bucket in this one. The Magic trail by 4. Grant with the ball. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Vucevic down low, defended by Towns. The Timberwolves have gone 5 of 8 from the field, shooting over 62%. Offensive rebound. Wiggins, no good with the layup.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over.
Snatched up. And Fournier kicks to Gordon. And the rejection by Towns.
Well, you see the great reach as well as the relentless pursuit shown by Towns. He's simply saying, not here, not now, not in my house.
A second chance effort. Bank shot, no good.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And it's slammed in by T.
And I like the decisions Butler makes with the ball. He's a solid passer and really has a nice feel for how to get his teammates open and clean looks.
Now here's Fournier. He's got 5. Here's Ross. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
Greg, it's been a long rebuild for the Magic, but they really feel they've got a plan in place.
Well, you've heard the front office talking that they're going to win at least 1 championship by the year 2030. And I got to say, that's an interesting quote, to say the least. I mean, I have heard of a 5-year plan, but a 13-year plan, I guess you'd call that building for the long term.
No good on that one. Gorgie Dangs checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. And the second free throw, good.
I love the complementary aspect of this group now. You know, you've got the young talent, but you've brought in some veteran leadership here for the Timberwolves. The duo of Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns kind of gave the confidence to them to go out and acquire a superstar in his prime like Jimmy Butler.
The putback, it's good on the putback.
And, you know, we all know about Jang's high motor. Defensively, you can't just let him float around the glass. You've got to get a body on him.
Now here's Ross. 11 points for him in that last game against Washington. He gets it in there. And Greg, the core of this Timberwolves team is Wiggins and Towns. And, you know, rarely do you get to see two #1 overall picks team up early in their careers.
And how about back-to-back years, no less. But I consider Jimmy Butler kind of a foundational piece as well. He's in the conversation for the best shooting guard in our league.
Here's Gibson after Jaren Grant's bucket. Count that one. The Magic trail by 7. Outside Gordon. They set the pick. Gordon a screen. Grant dishes to Vucevic. Back to Grant and stolen by Jeff Teague. To the middle. Here's Wiggins. Ross grabs the board.
It's just one of those games for him so far. Nothing seems to be finding the bottom of the net.
Wiggins against Ross, and it's Wiggins missing.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Ross passes to Gordon. Dishes it to Fournier. And that one's on target from the wing. Fournier's got 7 points in the game.
Boy, I like how Gordon dishes the ball. When his teammates are open, he finds them on time and on target.
Butler kicks to Wiggins. Gibson with the screen on Ross. Stolen by Gordon. And now Orlando on the break. The second effort and the rejection by Jang.
And this is something you'd like to see more of from Jang, given his size and wingspan.
It doesn't go for him. And Orlando the other way now.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear they're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
And that one's good by Butler.
I'll tell you what, Butler looks a lot more comfortable pulling the trigger from deep. I mean, his confidence shooting from outside continuing to grow.
And now the first timeout called here for the Magic. Clark, when you watch a team that's clicking on offense, what are some of the smaller things, the small details that are setting them apart?
Well, a couple of things. One is solid screen setting. That's huge because that's an unselfish act when you set a screen to get somebody else open. Then ball movement, being willing to go past a good opportunity for a next pass best opportunity. I think the Golden State Warriors do that as well as any team in basketball. The extra pass, sharing the ball, and giving themselves up for each other.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Jones dishes to Jang. Right wing. And stolen by Simmons. Augustine in the corner. From outside, off the mark. Timberwolves leading by 6. Tolliver down low. The putback. Mozgov grabs the board. Orlando's gone 0-4 from three-point land to start out. Looking cold from outside. Got a piece of it. Now here's Rose, the fast break opportunity. And he overshot that one, missing. Well, Orlando shooting a lowly 30% to start this game out. Augustine against Jones. Augustine passes to Mozgov. Over Jang, and the rejection by Jang. Jones kicks to Tolliver. Offline with his 3.
Boy, awful defending, really. But in the end, they dodged the bullet. They can't let shooters get clean looks from outside.
Here's Isaac. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Three-pointer Augustine doesn't get it to drop for him. And Minnesota will come the other way. Last time they met was in Minnesota.
And that was a stinker. I mean, that's one of those games where you really can't find anything that they did well. The game just got out of hand and really just a shaky performance across the board.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with you. And you know how optimistic and positive I am. But it's hard for me to find anything positive to take away from that. It's a game you just want to forget about as soon as you can.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Timberwolves.
Great hustle defensively through the first half, contesting everything and racking up the block shots.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
And the first one drops.
And, you know, Gorgui Dieng is a big man who can play both the 4 and the 5. He doesn't stand out on offense, understated there, but very valuable and solid and consistent. He's a rim protector and a space eater, but also a pretty effective rebounder, too.
He hits one and misses one, each at the line. And Dieng, a solid challenger at the rim with his shot blocking. Clark, he doesn't mind having a secondary role on a team as long as they are winning.
Yeah, you know what? He's really comfortable in his own skin and what his role is. He's got great awareness of how to help his team. Never tries to do too much on the offensive end, and he's really good at playing with any other type of big guy that the Wolves put on the floor.
Now here's Rose, looking for his first basket still in this one. Jones with the screen on Simmons. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
And the defense tried to slow him down, but Derrick Rose just a handful when he gets around the rim.
Simmons with it. Jones covering. Three-pointer Augustine. Good on the triple. Augustine's got 5 points so far.
No explanation for giving up these wide open looks. Total breakdown. Unacceptable defense.
They set the pick. Jones drives in. Outside Rose. Shot clock at 5. Over Simmons. Derrick Rose again. And the Timberwolves lead by 8.
You know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to put an extra body on him, get some help when he barrels his way in close. He's such a good finisher. He needs more than one guy to defend him.
Now here is Augustine. 5 points in the game. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
And, you know, the speedy Augustine is really an excellent teammate and a dependable role player, a veteran presence who can really stroke it.
The Magic have only 1 missed free throw. They've had 5 attempts and made 4 of them. The free throw drops for Augustine. Both free throws good from Augustine. So it's the Timberwolves now. 6-point game. Fresh from a win against Portland.
And I love the fact that they did such a good job of really reacting to what the defense was giving them.
Nothing was forced. Smart basketball was played, and they took advantage of any weakness they saw.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low, so many of their points coming right at the rim. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, we know what Derrick Rose has been through, the injuries, the expectations. And we asked him how he's dealing with all of it.
I got a clear mind when I play. I can't think about the past. I can't think about if I'm going to hurt myself, if I move the wrong way. When I'm out there, I have a free mind. I have no expectations on myself. I just know that I prepare myself well. It's no pressure.
Colin Rose says no pressure, but I have to feel like there's at least a little bit, guys, of pressure to get back to where he was.
Yeah, I mean, league MVP in 11, once considered a cornerstone for the NBA's youth movement. What we find out now after dealing with the adversity is, does he have the heart and drive?
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And guys, what's your take so far on the Timberwolves?
For me, that defense in the first period, just tremendous shot blocking.
Yeah, it's been impressive for me too, Greg. I mean, they've snuffed out a lot of shots, and I think they've had an intimidating effect on the opponent.
Simmons is out there with DJ Augustine. Then it's Mozgov, and it's Isaac in at the 4 slot. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Magic. And here's Augustine. 11 points for him in that last game against Washington. Inside. Here's Simmons. That one doesn't go. And Minnesota now the other way.
A good job by him on the glass here tonight. +8 in that department.
And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. And a look at the 2K leaderboard now with the list of centers and power forwards who have been in a great rhythm at the free throw line over the last 10 games. Third is Karl Anthony Towns.
And a lot of these big men take the confidence they have in the paint straight to the free throw line with them. I mean, that makes them very hard to handle.
It really does. I mean, defenders have to be a little more cautious than they would be ordinarily. Pack one of these fellas, and they'll cash in.
Baseline J on the way. Simmons missing again. Timberwolves leading by 6. And the Magic benefiting from multiple first-round picks this summer. They needed the help.
Yeah, they did. And they need a big hit in the draft. I mean, they've lacked star talent, and we know this is a talent-driven league. Either you develop stars or you pull them into your fold. They've got to find some difference makers. There's no doubt about that.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, analytics has taken over the NBA, but Minnesota coach and president of basketball operations, Tom Thibodeau, says it doesn't tell you everything. He said analytics can measure a lot of things, but it's very difficult to measure drive. The magic is in the work. Kevin?
And Tom Thibodeau makes a good point, D.A. Analytics is certainly helpful, but it doesn't capture everything. Just 5 to shoot. Goes up on the wing. Off the left rim and out. Minnesota's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Jones against Augustine. From 11 feet away, Mozgov grabs the board. Mozgov's got 4 rebounds now tonight. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a 3-point play. Going to the line for 1.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
That's exactly how it should be done. Get the bump, concentrate on the shot, and you'll get the bucket too.
Aaron Gordon, he's checking in for Orlando. And a change for the Timberwolves. Wiggins is checked in. Clark, you were a fantastic rebounder your entire career. What do you feel gave you the edge over the other players in the glass?
You know, one of my fellow Buckeye greats, actually the greatest Buckeye of all time in basketball, I think, was Jerry Lucas. And he talked an awful lot about rebounding being more about timing and pursuit of the ball than anything else. And I had a good gift of timing, and I clearly was chasing down that pumpkin as well as most. And those were the things that allowed me to be a good rebounder. Good timing, good hands, and pursuit of the basketball. It wasn't complicated, but some of it was giftedness. The other part was persistence and hard work.
And it's Orlando with the rebound. Their next game is at Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, taking on the Cavaliers. And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them. Gordon with the screen for Augustine. Kicks it out to Gordon. That doesn't go on the chance to tie. Timberwolves leading by 3. Here's Wiggins. It's good, only a few seconds into the shot clock. Wiggins has got 5.
You know what? Didn't find a very good shot on that possession, but still able to get 2 points.
Gordon with a screen on Jones. And Augustine kicks to Gordon. That's in. Augustine with the assist.
That's really a rock-solid screen from Gordon. I mean, he has no problem setting the hard pick.
Rose passes to Patton. Back to Rose. Towns sets the pick for Rose. Kicks it out to Jones. And the pass to Towns. And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Come on, this is a big guy here, Towns. I mean, you got to foul him a lot harder than that to stop the shot. I mean, he's just too strong. Now he gets a chance to add one more at the line.
Well, Towns does so many things on the floor, already an elite post scorer. But, Greg, one area that he has struggled with at times is his defense against other bigs.
And I think he'll continue to improve in that area. What happens with young guys, though, is oftentimes you're improved how good I am mode when you're young, and you lose sight of some of the things that help you win games. And I think that's one reason why he had one of the worst defensive RPMs in the entire league. But young bigs tend to take a bit longer to develop into great defenders, and I expect he will follow in that line.
And since Dwight Howard back in 2012, the rebuild effort just has languished here in Orlando, unable really to draft any superstar talent. And last season, trades for veteran talent didn't really move the needle either.
Lob pass to Gordon, and it's Gordon finishing it off.
And when Gordon is launched and in the air like that, he's a mesmerizing guy to keep an eye on and just get out of the way.
Great way to see the alley-oop. That replay courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. They set the pick. The dish to Gibson. T kicks to Towns. Can't hit that one. The Magic go the other way with it. And, Greg, when you look at the Magic, do you see a plan or a roadmap here?
Well, you look at that trade for Serge Ibaka going into last season, and that was probably a sign that ownership was growing impatient. They wanted to cash in their chips and really go for it. And now they might need a rebuild from that rebuild.
You're right.
One shot, gentlemen.
The free throw drops for Butler. Rumors about Butler being traded from Chicago were circulating last season. Draft day comes around, and the Minnesota Timberwolves made their move, Greg, to acquire him.
Yeah, and the more you look at it, the trade looks great for Butler and the Wolves. Reunites him with Coach Thibodeau. Joins an incredibly young core in Towns and Wiggins, and the sky's the limit, I think, for this young Wolves team.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Guys, that's been the key to their league. I mean, simply put, the effort they've displayed on the glass has been the difference.
Kept alive, goes back up, and it's Vucevic missing.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Now here's Wiggins. A 17-point game for him in the win against Portland. He feeds it to Butler. Towns, a screen on Grant. Butler dishes to Towns. Here's Wiggins. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. Clark, you know we like to reach out to the fans and have them send in questions, so I've got one right now. Here's Alex in Ohio, of all places. He asks, what sport other than basketball are you best at?
I specialized early, Alex. I was a decent athlete, had good hands, could catch and throw a football pretty well, but didn't like the contact there. Right now, I'm actually just a good workout guy, and I'm trying to become a better than average golfer.
No good on that one. And you look at the history of the Timberwolves, and there have been some incredible players. Clark, which Timberwolf player always was your favorite to watch, and why?
Well, Kevin Garnett was fun to watch wherever he played. Clearly, his early career was in Minnesota, and his intensity, his focus, his versatility, his two-way prowess. Sam Mitchell, guy I got to know when he was in Indiana, just one of those solid veteran guys. And then Kevin Love, a double-double 2010 guy. He was really good while he was there, too.
They set the screen. T kicks to Gibson. Wiggins outside. Gibson setting a pick for Wiggins. Launches a three. They get the rebound. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Minnesota shooting the 6th attempt at the free throw line tonight.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
One of the things they've done, guys, is taken pride in their free throw shooting this season, and rightfully so.
Minnesota making a switch here. Zhang's checked in.
One shot, gentlemen.
And when you look at this Magic team with their talent, what should their identity be?
Well, I think it should be up-tempo, defensive-oriented. They've got really good athletes, and defending at a high level with that kind of athleticism is doable, and I think would lead to easier offense. And that's what I think they have to foundation themselves on.
The Magic trail by 10. Now Grant, he's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Here's Gordon. Rebound, Minnesota. Gibson's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Fournier against Butler. Wiggins passes to Teague. Floats it up for Butler. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
And all you have to do is throw the ball in Butler's direction, and he'll handle the rest for you, believe me. Fantastic at finishing on the alley-oops.
Grant dishes to Vucevic. Fournier against Butler. Looking to end his cold spell. Will not go. Still looking for his shooting rhythm as he misses his 7th shot of 10.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Yeah, you know, not every point guard will be able to find an open man right there, but Teague is always looking for the right play.
And then Gordon with the dunk.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. And I don't mean style points.
Hey, I thought there was some style there, guys. What are you guys looking at? I mean, it was still a pretty sweet, flavorful one-hand flush.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Pick by Vucevic. Back to Fournier. Orlando moving the ball around. Grant kicks to Fournier and stolen by Butler. And now Minnesota on the fast break. No good off the front iron. The Magic trail by 14. Fournier with the ball. Butler covering. Here's Gordon. That's good. He's 5 for 9.
And right now, Gordon is on a whole nother level now. I mean, he's not forcing anything. He's really letting the game come to him, and his shots are being taken right in rhythm.
And Gibson wide open. He shoots. That's good. And so Teague with the assist. Teague's got assist number 7 for him tonight. Vucevic a screen on Teague. Grant the pass to Vucevic. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Vucevic. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Minnesota. Timberwolves leading by 14. Teague dishes to Tolliver. He kicks to Butler. Gibson the screen to the right side. Shot clock at 6. Shoots from 14. Zhang. Vucevic with the rebound. Vucevic has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Grant kicks to Gordon. Fournier in the corner. Gibson with the steal. Outside Butler. He dishes it to Teague. Pass to Tolliver. Over to the left wing. Outside Teague. Butler up top. He's guarded by Fournier. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
Yeah, he's building off that strong first quarter, Kevin. Rising up and hitting shots with confidence.
Minnesota shooting their 7th attempt at the foul line in this one. Mozgov, he's checked in for the Magic. Augustine comes in for Grant. You know, Clark, at the end of last season, the Timberwolves unveiled this new logo they're sporting this season. They felt it was time for an update, and you have to say it looks pretty sharp.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, most teams in the NBA want to mix their logo up every so often to keep it modern and up to date and fresh. The Wolves have a young group and felt it was the right time to re-examine the logo, and I can't argue with them. Sometimes a little change like that can pay big dividends.
T kicks to Butler. Shoots over Fournier. The Timberwolves again can't hit. The Magic trail by 15. Misses the layup.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Timing and sneaky athleticism, Kevin, allowed Mozgov to get to that shot.
For Minnesota, they have had 7 opportunities at the free throw line and made good on 5 of them.
Shooting 2.
And the first one drops. And Greg, you wouldn't expect it from a Coach Thibodeau team, but defense was an issue for the Timberwolves last year.
And the Wolves brought in Butler to help with offense, but more importantly, his defense. And Butler, familiar with what Thibs likes to do on both ends of the floor, has the leadership the team needs, particularly on the defensive end.
And so Butler nails both of them.
And Butler emerging as a leader both on and off the floor, a player who plays with great passion and goes all out for his team all the time.
Augustine from outside. It's hauled in by Tolliver. Timberwolves leading by 17. Butler kicks to Jones. Wants to get it to...
And I love watching Jimmy Butler play. This guy is just fun to watch. I mean, he's a tremendous dunker, strong physical body, and he knows how to throw it down.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Here's Isaac, rebounded by the Timberwolves. Tolliver's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Jones, the pass to Tolliver. Butler. Got it off in time, but it's no good. A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. Timberwolves lead by 19. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Karl Anthony Towns. An impressive first half and a nice start for you guys. How did that happen?
I mean, yeah, we had some great days of practice. You know, this is what happens when you got some days off.
Got the spring in your step again. Thanks, Karl Anthony. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. Time for the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. It's Minnesota out in front at the half. They are dominating the scoring, leading by 19. Kenny, what's your take?
Well, they just about ran their offense to perfection. They pounded the ball inside, and the entry feeds were on time and on the money. It was a clinic to watch. The second half is going to be no contest if they keep getting shots 8 feet and in.
Check. What'd you think about Orlando?
Well, first of all, as cold as they've been from the floor, I can't say I'm surprised by the score. You cannot shoot the ball that poorly and expect to be in the game, Ernie. They need better ball movement. If their offense stays this stagnant, they could forget about a comeback.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
Welcome back, folks. The downtown skyline of Orlando, Florida, looking especially striking tonight. Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first two quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. We are seeing a tremendous game from Jimmy Butler.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been two quarters, just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter where he is on the floor either, Greg. He's making it look very easy. He's looking to score the ball.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. Here's who Tom Thibodeau is starting the second half with. Butler teams with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. Gibson is the 4 with Towns in the middle, and it's Teague in at the point. Grant kicks to Ross. And the rejection by Towns. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. And that's 12 points for Karl Anthony Towns.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. My goodness. You know, Terrence Ross is a former dunk contest champion. Ross has major levitation time.
That Unleash Chaos Under Armour replay really giving us a good look at the action. Towns, no luck. The Magic trail by 19. He gets a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Karl Anthony Towns was voted by GMs last season as the player they most want to build a franchise around. But he is not resting on his laurels. He said, "I work hard on my game. I want to be the strongest player, the most intelligent player, and the most skilled player on the court at all times." Kevin?
Thanks, David. That work ethic will definitely help Towns get better. He's already a dynamite player. Just 4 to shoot. Fournier.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
Towns with the defensive effort. In the corner, it's Wiggins. It's good from long range. Wiggins has got 8 points.
Well, I tell you what, how easy does Wiggins make the game look? I mean, in the flow, excellent stroke from distance. That's fun to watch.
Looking to get back on track here, and it's laid in by Fournier.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Towns, the screen. T kicks to Towns. Left side, Gibson.
Taj Gibson is a solid role player, really one of the best we have. A good rebounder and defender with a soft touch from the mid-range and can score without having plays called for him.
This is his second trip to the line in this one.
And up to this point on the season, he's set a pace of right around 73% when he gets to the line.
And I think it's clear he's gotten better in that department since last season. I mean, he looks a lot more comfortable at the line now, and he's getting better results.
No good on that one. And he sinks the second. One thing that Tom Thibodeau can be dependent on as a coach is giving his star players a lot of minutes. In fact, in Chicago, Clarkson criticized him for doing that. Others praised him for it. But the fact of the matter is, if you're a team leader, he expects you to be on the floor a lot and produce a lot.
Yeah, and you know, that's part of the job. Hey, when you get right down to it, if you're one of the best players, you've got to show up and do your job all the time. And you look at players who've played under Thibodeau. I mean, he's had the league leader in average minutes 3 times in his career as a coach. Said himself that he expects his guys to get used to what star players do, which includes a lot of minutes.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Timberwolves leading by 19 points. Teague with the ball. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Towns dishes to Gibson. Took the opportunity when he saw it. Gibson's got 14 points.
Yeah, the vision of Towns, sees the whole floor, finds an unguarded teammate there.
Teague against Grant. The feed to Gordon. They set the pick. Back to Grant. Pass to Vucevic. Just 5 on the clock. Fournier gets a wide open look. Another miss by Orlando. Minnesota's gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. Teague with a clean look. Misses the 3.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
The shot's good from Fournier.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Butler kicks to Wiggins. Towns the screen. Shoots off the screen. That one good for 2. 10 points for Andrew Wiggins.
Hey, it's a simple game. Just take what the defense allows. Wiggins reads it, smooth with the mid-range stroke. Knock it down.
Now a timeout called by Orlando.
Hey, and you know, when you're the #1 overall pick, there's some pressure that comes with that stature, and Wiggins had a lot of pressure on him because of that. Has responded well, though, and I think stardom is in this guy's future. I mean, you look at his overall game and how he's developing, a really good threat on offense, and I think he's got a chance to be all NBA defense at some point.
Patton, he's checked in for Taj Gibson. Here's Ross, and the jam by Ross.
And that's a case where the deceptive strength that Ross has helps him score over the defense. You can't afford to take this guy lightly.
Minnesota leading by 19. T kicks to Butler. Back to Teague. Towns the screen. The 3. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got assist number 8 here in this one already. And just thinking about the maturing of Wiggins' game and how he's developed, Clark, he's shown that he can carry an offense as a perimeter player. You can do that at his age.
Yeah, and he was able to do that in part because he was forced to. When Levine went down last season with an injury, stepped up his scoring, and I think he's only going to get better as he gets older.
Passes it to Patton. Feeds to Butler. To the inside. Takes a shot at the elbow. Fournier pulls it down. Fournier's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Here's Grant. Got a hand on it. And here we go. Fast break. Wiggins has got it. Kicks to Teague. Here's Patton. Takes the 12-footer and hits. And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for the Timberwolves?
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
Yeah, but also they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
Here's Vucevic. That shot off the mark. Towns with the defensive effort. Wiggins against Ross. There's the pass to Patton. Towns the screen. Shots good by Butler.
How about the execution from Butler there? I love it. I mean, simply taking his time inside and getting the job done.
Grant the pass to Ross. Jumper off the screen, and the shot goes in. Ross has got 10 points in just the second half.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
13 feet away. They grab their own miss, and the dunk by Towns.
Hey, scoring off misses, that's easy buckets. Something Towns has the length and tenacity to do on a regular basis.
Gordon dishes to Ross. Back to Gordon. He feeds it to Grant. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
And here we have an opportunity to check out Karl Anthony Towns. Tremendous numbers for him over the last 10 games. He's around 18 points per game and just over 3 blocks. And he brings that offensive firepower to the team. Scoring just comes naturally.
2 shots. And, you know, defenses are throwing everything at him, Sid, yet he's still able to put up points. He's really unstoppable.
No good on that one.
The former Arizona Wildcat, Gordon, is a high-motor player who gives great effort out there all the time.
So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Mozgov, he's checked in for Vucevic. Isaac comes in for Terrence Ross. Jonathan Simmons is checked in for Evan Fournier. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Jaren Grant. Now a timeout called by Orlando.
And Orlando coach Frank Vogel, an assistant coach and advanced scout for about a decade before his first head job with the Pacers, did a terrific job. He helped turn the Pacers into a powerhouse.
And the Pacers made the playoffs 5 out of 6 seasons under Coach Vogel. A conference best 56 wins in 2014.
Yeah, and I was there during some of those wonderful runs. And for many, it was a surprise to see the Pacers look in a different direction. But it is the nature of the business for head coaches, and the former general manager, president with the Pacers, felt like it was just time for a change. So Frank Vogel's in Orlando, has some talented pieces, and now it's just about trying to make those pieces fit.
Here's Isaac. He can't get that one to fall. And Minnesota now the other way. Outside Rose. Towns, a screen on Simmons. Here's Rose. But they recover it.
There's another opportunity, and everything's going right for these guys.
For Orlando, they've gone at a pretty good shooting pace. They're 6 of 13 from the field here in the third. Jones against Augustine. And he makes the bucket through contact and gets the whistle, too.
Tricky and crafty inside. Augustine has a unique ability to get tough shots over the defense.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
76% at the stripe for him thus far this season.
You know, guys, that's not quite the same success rate he had at the line last year, although it is somewhat in the neighborhood of last year's numbers.
Gorgie Dangs checked in for Minnesota.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. 1 shot.
And Augustine, no good on that one. And league expansion is something that simply won't leave the conversation in the NBA right now. Clark, do you think that the NBA adding another team or 2 is inevitable?
I don't think it's inevitable. As a matter of fact, I think we're at a good number where we are, Kevin. It's still the best league in the world, and I think you could dilute that a bit if you added teams. So I'm fine with where we are.
That free throw, no good.
They're not doing themselves any favors with their free throw shooting this half.
No luck that time either. Timberwolves leading by 21. It's Jones on the wing. No good from outside. The Magic have gotten half their shots to drop in the second half, up to this point going 7 of 14. Picked by Mozgov. And the rejection by Jang. Here's the break. Pass to Patton. Dishes to Rose. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And it's really all about the evolution of Derrick Rose, finding out how to be more effective at this stage of his career. And, you know, I think he's done a good job of not relying on his outside shot as much. Still can attack and get to the rim, and it's starting to lead to better results.
Second free throw, no good. For Rose, the outside shot was something that never really recovered after his injuries, Greg, but he is still a dangerous scorer without that tool.
One of the better finishers still at the rim in the league in terms of guards. His decision to go inside more helped bump that field goal percentage up
last season. Not everyone can adjust their game, but Rose managed to do it seamlessly.
Puts up a three, drills the three-pointer. Rose has got 4 points in the quarter.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Well, you know, the D just hasn't been there for real. I mean, these shooters are getting any perimeter shot they want. It's a bunch of warm-up jump shots out there.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Now the dish to Tolliver. Outside Rose. Out to the right wing. Tolliver, no luck. Magic shooting about 35% from the floor. Not much falling for them. Outside Rose. Jones against Augustine. Takes the three. And there's Derrick Rose on the assist by Jones. Rose has got 13.
And those aren't the type of three-point opportunities that you can allow in the NBA.
You're exactly right. I mean, those come back to bite you every time, just like it's biting them now.
Pass to Patton. Picked him clean. And here we go with the Magic fast break. Isaac with the ball. Rose against Simmons. Down low, it's tipped. Stolen by Rose. Lets it fly from 18. He's off on that one. Magic shooting 47% from the field in the third. Nice spin off the left rim and in.
Well, I tell you what, Kevin, the mid-range game of Isaac continues to get better, showing great stride in being a threat from here.
There's the pick. Jones kicks to Zhang. And it's Orlando with the rebound.
And, you know, even with him struggling, they're still up. But they need him to find his rhythm soon.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And we see a chart here for the shooting performance so far for Butler.
Well, just look at the cluster in the middle of the paint. That right there tells you all you need to know about how they have built the lead they have. They are playing with more intensity on the offensive side of the ball, and it's the difference in the game right now. You have to love how they've approached this matchup.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. Gibson's checked in. Minnesota leading by 23. Outside, Jones. He kicks it to Tolliver. Zhang, a screen. Tolliver the pass to Gibson. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
I thought he had the space to shoot comfortably there, and disappointed that he missed it.
Augustine dishes to Mozgov. Fires from 18 and no good. Trying to use the glass. Rose has gone 5 of 13 from the floor. That's below 40%. And he gets the bucket. 5 points in the game. Minnesota's gone 7 of 15 from three-point range tonight. They're not afraid of that shot. Can't get it to fall. And so it's Minnesota sitting on a 21-point lead to end the quarter. And they've created a bunch of turnovers with that terrific D. We've got more in store for you right after this. Now let's hear what Coach Tom Thibodeau was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Defensively, make sure we're all getting rebounded. No second shots. In transition, everyone talking. No open threes in transition.
And Tom Thibodeau wanting his team to pay particular attention to certain areas of their defense.
Yeah, taking care of the defensive boards, allowing no easy baskets, on the fast break. These are key elements in terms of you having success.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. Isaac out there with Mozgov. Then there's DJ Augustine. Then it's Simmons. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Magic. And Augustine kicks to Simmons. No good on the triple. Minnesota leading by 21. And that's out of bounds. Minnesota will retain possession. The Magic making a switch here. Ross is checked in. Andrew Wiggins, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. There's the feed to Jang. Mozgov with the steal. To the left wing. Here's Isaac. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. Taj Gibson picks one up.
And Jonathan Isaac, a 6'11" small forward out of Florida State. You know, we're seeing more and more players like this with the length of a center and the guard skills. You know, you think of KD, Brandon Ingram, and now Isaac.
That's good from Isaac. And the story for Jonathan Isaac, as a sophomore in high school, Greg, he stood 6'3" and played guard. He hit a growth spurt, as you can see.
Yeah, and it makes a difference. I think what I notice most is that he's retained not just the perimeter skill, but also the fluidity. I mean, he's light on his feet and really moves well. Remember, there was another guy that was a point guard that had a nice growth spurt. I think his name was Anthony Davis.
Well, you look at Isaac, and all you think he needs to do is add some weight. And he's got terrific skills and a promising future.
Back to Rose. Gibson the screen, shoots from the elbow. They get it again. He used that pick to get in close.
Boy, I like seeing that toughness on the offensive glass. Did a nice job judging, anticipating where the miss was going, and then putting it back in. Nicely done.
There's the pick. Grant kicks to Simmons. Vucevic against Jang, and it's Vucevic missing.
Gotta give the defense credit. That was a great contest on a high percentage shot in the paint.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Clark, we've seen a few active players have their own podcast that they produce throughout the season. You think that's a good idea or a bad idea for them?
Again, I'm ambivalent to that because the landscape is so different now with the social media platforms. And I like the fact that players have a chance to control their narrative, their story, through the different social media platforms, the Players Tribune, podcasts. Now, you have to balance that with your responsibilities and obligations to your team, your teammates, and your franchise. And so that's where it becomes a challenge, managing your time effectively and using it wisely. But clearly, players should have the opportunity to be fully engaged people beyond just playing the game.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Aaron Gordon comes in for Isaac, and Evan Fournier subbed in for Simmons. And both free throws good for Rose.
And you gotta love watching Rose play the game. His intense style can be infectious out there, and I think it really does elevate his teammates.
Ross passes to Gordon. Over Gibson. And he overshot that one, missing.
Tough miss, especially since the defense wasn't that strong. I mean, he needs to cash in from there.
Wiggins with it, now guarded by Vucevic. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. No good on the free throw. Jimmy Butler, he's checked in for Derrick Rose. So he comes up empty at the line. And Clark, when you played the NBA with still mostly American players, now the game is truly global with players from all over the world. How do you think that has changed the NBA?
Well, I think it's enhanced the NBA's product on the floor because, again, you're getting the best players in the world that are competing in the NBA with the international influx. I think it's added to the global popularity of the league without question. The NBA is clear in that we're going far and wide across the globe to find the best players to play in the best league in the world, and I think that's healthy and good.
Here's Fournier. Here's Gordon, and Gibson sends it back.
And Gibson just out here to play hard defense, showing great awareness coming up there with that block.
Here's Wiggins. Again, Wiggins missing. Orlando, they've gone a dismal 0 for 5 to get the fourth quarter underway. And Fournier kicks to Vucevic. It's not going to go for him. Towns with the defensive effort.
It's just been a brutal outing for him. He still hasn't managed to make a shot, and the team is struggling because of it.
And you can see the second chance points now starting to be a major factor.
Well, I tell you what, offensive rebounding is really an important statistic. Maybe undervalued a bit, but those extra possessions really do help.
Got that bucket in no time at all.
Tell you what, the defense has to be kicking themselves. Just a step late there, and the shooter made them pay for it.
Teague dishes to Butler. And last season, one of the first where a coach was not let go during the regular season. A rarity, Clark, in the NBA. Do you think coaches get too much of the blame at times?
Yeah, I would agree with that, Kevin. It's a great responsibility and challenge to coach in the NBA, but more times than not, they do sometimes get an unfair share of the blame for what happens on the court.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
Ross for three. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
And that's where Ross has been most efficient, raining it off the catch. Love it.
Teague against Grant. Towns. Vucevic with the rebound. The Magic trail by 19. Fast break. Here come the Magic. Good on the shot. And that's now 7 points for Jaren Grant.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Minnesota's gone 7 of 15 from three-point range tonight. They're not afraid of that shot. Wiggins from outside. Again, Wiggins missing. Here's Orlando now. Good momentum, 8 straight points. Here's Fournier. Misses off the left iron.
That's good offense. The shot didn't go down, but they'll live with that.
And it's Butler missing.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
A follow outside. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's on Jimmy Butler. The first free throw is good, so it's both teams making substitutions here. And so Aaron Aflalo nails both of them. And so it's Minnesota with it. The lead is 15. T kicks to Gibson. He dishes it to Butler. Here's Towns. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Towns has got 19 points.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Aflalo goes in. And the rejection by Towns. And a wide open look here for Wiggins. The shot, no good. So Orlando will take it the other way. Butler with the steal. Passes it to Towns. Second chance shot. With the second effort, Vucevic with the block.
Hey, that expansive reach of Vucevic's really helps him on the defensive end. He uses that length to really bother the confidence of shooters.
Gordon with it. Now guarded by Gibson. Grant the pass to Aflalo. Feeds it to Ross. Vucevic down low. Towns on him, and that one drops.
Boy, the hustle by Vucevic. I mean, showing real commitment and investment on the glass and finding ways to come up with second chance opportunities for his team. That's Very impressive.
Here's Towns. Not going to go that time. Gordon with the defensive effort. Ross dishes to Grant. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Towns has got rebound number 17, if you can believe that. Ross with the steal. Grant outside. Kicks to Ross. Fires the three. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got his 18th rebound here tonight, all over the place.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Vitally important. I mean, if you relax for a second, you're cooked, you're toast. They learned that lesson there.
Ross with a wide open look, buries it from three-point range. Ross has got a couple of three-pointers now in the fourth for Orlando. Outside Teague. Here's the screen. Towns the screen. And Gibson kicks to Butler. Gibson against Gordon. Ross passes to Grant. That three off the mark. Timberwolves leading by 16. Wiggins dishes to Butler and stolen by Afflalo. Here's Gordon. It's rebounded by Towns. And Nikola Vucevic is going to pick up the foul. And that'll be his third foul so far. Evan Fournier's checked in for the Magic. Minnesota's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Teague kicks to Wiggins. Butler against Fournier. Fires from the wing. And it's good for 2. 21 points for Butler.
And Butler knows he can get whatever shot he wants pretty much when he wants to. That's why he's one of the best scorers in the game.
And the pass to Ross. Fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up.
Boy, he's having a great half here. Exactly the opposite of the first.
That free throw good from Ross. Minnesota with the ball. 15-point game. Grant against Teague. Here's Butler. Butler can't get that one to fall. Orlando's gotten 3 of their 6 three-pointers to fall here in the fourth. Here's Ross.
Talk about bringing it. Man, I love seeing Ross finish at the basket like that. Even when the defense is up into him, he focuses, concentrates, and stays with the shot.
Teague against Grant. Teague kicks to Wiggins to the right side. Towns against Gordon, and the dunk by Towns.
And no help on that one. Towns, long strides. It all the way to the rack. Way to go, big fella.
Now a timeout called by Orlando.
Definitely not pleased with their rebounding at the defensive end. The number of putbacks they've allowed has been terrible. I'm sure that's what he's going to address during this timeout.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Karl Anthony Towns.
And when he's been on the floor, it has been a clinic in rim protection and shot blocking. He's played the defense of 3 men tonight. His block total has gotten to a point you almost never see in an NBA game.
He silenced this crowd with an unreal display. His ability to drown out the noise and the hostility of an opposing crowd is pretty special. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
During that break, Frank Vogel had some real words for his team. He is not pleased, and he told them they have to make a push right now. He said, look, we got to make a move, or I've got to pull the plug. Pretty blunt stuff, Kevin. Back to you.
Ross kicks to Fournier. And not a good shot for him. They can get better looks than that. Timberwolves leading by 15. And here is Teague. Towns the screen. Left side, Butler. No one near him. And the shot no good, a bit short. The Magic shooting just 30% from the field here in the fourth. Looking to get it going. Fournier, and he makes the bucket. True contact and gets the whistle too.
Even when the defense is right up in Fournier, he's still tricky down inside. Constantly figures out ways to keep the defense guessing.
And Evan Fournier out of France, an instinctive offensive player, Greg.
Yeah, favorite player growing up was Manu Ginobili, and you can see some similarities in their games. Fournier possesses long-range shooting, but also able to handle and put pressure on the D with the dribble.
The Magic trail by 12. To the inside. Here's Vucevic. Rebound, Minnesota.
And that layup is usually going in, especially when the defense is as lazy as that.
T kicks to Butler. Looking for Gibson. He gets it there. The kick out to T. Clock at 6. The 3. Another shot. Vucevic with the block.
And there's no doubt about this one. Playing with a lot of confidence tonight. It's a statement victory for Minnesota.
And the big difference here was accuracy from three-point range.
And once they started sinking shots, it really stretched out the D and created other opportunities. And anytime they got space, they seemed to just knock down another triple.
And on the year, this will turn out to be win number 34 for them.
And you know, this is a win they wanted badly, guys. They did not want to get swept in the season series.
Most definitely. I mean, even though you see opponents outside of your conference only twice a year, you still don't want to have that feeling of being swept.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Karl-Anthony Towns.
He came out and let everyone know that points would be hard to come by with the way he swatted away shots and protected the rim.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Butler passes to Towns. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. And the Timberwolves lead by 16.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Exactly. Cold-blooded. Separation solidified. Great effort.
And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
And that's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Jimmy, you have been outspoken about the need for maximum effort. Was it part of your plan to grab wins like the one we saw tonight?
It wasn't a part of my plan, but whatever works, works. I think we got a bunch of talented guys, and at times we forget how hard we got to play. On the road, at home, this is how we got to play basketball.
Jimmy, thanks for the time, man. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time